Born on the 18th of February 1917, in Reims, Charbonneaux completed his military service in 1939, and then went to England, returning to France in 1943 to conduct intelligence missions for the RAF. An attentive observer of the German Air Force, he informed the authorities of the novelties he observed within the enemy squadrons. In 1948, Charbonneaux's breakthrough as a designer came when Delahaye entrusted him with the modernization of its styling. He redefined the silhouette of the Tu-35 by integrating the wings and headlights into a single assembly. In 1947, racing driver Jean-Pierre Wimille asked Charbonneaux to design a car to produce as a small series. The car had to be light and fast, offer 3 seats abreast with a driver in the middle, and a mid-rear engine. Aerodynamics were key. The Wimille caused a sensation at the 1948 Paris Motor Show, but Wimille's death while testing for the Argentine Grand Prix in January 1949 put an end to the project. Charbonneaux was recruited by General Motors in April 1949, but quickly became disillusioned with American working methods, where each designer was responsible for just one element of the car. After 6 months, he returned to France. In the early 1950s, Rosengart tasked him to finalize the design of the new FIVA station wagon, but the prototype was 4 years old and already outdated. Charbonneaux's work on the Cute Harriet, presented at the 1951 Paris Motor Show, was more convincing, but Rosengart's days were numbered. In 1953, Charbonneaux set up his own design firm in Paris, joined by the young designer Paul Braque. A real jack of all trades, Charbonneaux's skills included the design of household appliances, stationery, toys, and much more. One of his hugely successful designs of the early 1950s was a coach based on the Citroën 2CV, with many parts borrowed from the Simca Sport Coupe. From the end of the 1950s, Berliet, the HGV manufacturer, became a regular customer, as did Bernard, another prestigious truck manufacturer. In September 1960, Renault, at an impasse in the development of its future Renault 8, sought Charbonneaux's input. The project was completed in 3 weeks with the help of a small team, and became a huge commercial success. At the end of 1960, Charbonneaux was commissioned by Renault to create a styling team, while keeping his own independent business. But in January 1963, Fernand Picard ended their collaboration, as Charbonneaux, who was very stubborn, did not work well in a team. The future Renault 16, presented in January 1965, had already found its identity when Charbonneaux left Renault. According to Charbonneaux, it was he who created the boomerang profile. Back in his own offices, Charbonneaux worked on the famous Strada for Berliet. And through the 50s and 60s, he designed tractors, hearses, pleasure boats, buses, a presidential limousine for Simca. While 1963 saw the realization of his design for a prestigious new Delage. From the 1970s, the stylist turned to automotive history. He liked to keep an example of each vehicle he had designed and, over time, other cars joined the museum he opened in Saint-Dizier. In 1985, this collection of 150 cars moved to central Reims. In his later life, Charbonneaux and Franco Sparro joined forces to create a luxury saloon based on the Renault 25. While it aroused Renault's curiosity at the 1984 Paris Motor Show, it never came to fruition. Towards the end of his life, Charbonneaux became interested in road safety and created the ellipsis for the 1992 Paris Motor Show. Among its innovations were the absence of sharp angles at the front, wheels in a diamond shape, and a central driving position. Philippe Charbonneaux died on 4 June 1998, aged 81.